And now, a very good evening wherever you are watching this evening. Yeah, it is my pleasure again to get back to you this evening through the one and only the most growing shows on Mofo TV and the rest of Matter Sports, as we can all say. Joining me wherever you are, you're welcome of course. Na kukaribisha bahali popote ulipo, karibu tena kwenye kipindi ambacho umekisubiria sana cha The On Goal Show. Yeah, here it is a special edition. Of course, we are going to talk about the most awaited match of the day. That is PSG, who will be playing against Arsenal during the second game, pale Paris in France. So join me this evening wherever you are watching from. I'm glad to tell you, like, I am happy because you are there and you are watching and you are ready for the breakdown of the show, of course. Lakini kabla hatujaenda sana, join me. That's the first thing. And then the second thing, share our live, of course. Welcome your friends. Let us join our hands as the biggest family of sports, and let us make sure that we are making this to happen, because this is Mofo TV, your passport to adventure. The show is On Goal Show, and here we are talking exclusively Matter Sports. And then before I go to see you how many of you have joined us, let me give you the breakdown of the show. This evening we are going to talk about we are of course going to take as little time as we can, because tunajua game inaanza saa 4, so by saa 3 na dakika 45 ama saa 3 na dakika 50 we will be done to give you enough time so that you can watch the football, the most awaited match this evening. And in our breakfast, in our breakdown, of course, not our breakfast, in our breakdown, of course, this evening, we're going to talk about, we are going to have a quick flash in the AFCON under 20 that has been, AFCON under 20 that has been happening and is still happening in Egypt, of course. The group stages matches have been completed, of course, and the teams that have qualified to the next round have already qualified, and the teams that have not made it to the next round are automatically coming back home. Yeah, so we are going to have a quick flash on the under 20 AFCON that is happening in Egypt, that is Cairo, and then we're also going to have a quick flash in Keep Kano Classic. And then we are going also to have a quick flash, of course, in Kasarani Stadium, of course, because it is the selected stadium this weekend to help make sure that at the Shemeji Derby, the second leg is happening successfully. And then, of course, we are also going to have a quick flash at why Ferdinand Omanyala, the Africa fastest man, is not performing to the level best, because amekuwa akisuasua sana this year. He has not had his best form. And then we are also going generally to have a real talk about the EPL table. Of course, I'm going to give you the real arches for the Champions League spot, because things are very tight. See a lot of challenges in the remaining 3 games. And then I'm also going now to have a post view, of course, of whatever happened yesterday. Yesterday we had an opportunity to experience a very high intensity game yenye ilikuwa inakutanisha Barcelona against their friends, not their enemies, their opponents, that is Inter Milan, that happened at San Siro in Italy. And then of course we are going to have a preview about the squad and what we expect in the coming game in the Sunday Kamili, that is Arsenal. PSG will be welcoming Arsenal in France. So the question of the day nakuuliza, like, who is winning between Arsenal, PSG and Arsenal? The question of the day. Tell me in the comment section, like, ni nani anashinda hii game saa hii jioni, and unaona like Arsenal wakiproceed ama unaona ni PSG watakuwa na proceed so that they can go play against Inter Milan, who already qualified yesterday after giving Barcelona a very hard time this time. We did not expect it. So before we kick into our first story, of course, let me go by the few comments that are maybe those who are watching us are giving us, that you are giving us. Wherever you're watching, give me your comment section. Tell me, kati ya Arsenal na PSG, ni nani anaenda mbele kucheza the final that will be played in Allianz Arena, that is in Germany, 31st of this month. Anaitwa Celestine Babayaro anasema already on board. Tuko Ndakas Mulwanda massive. I told you Mulwanda, don't get bored when I say Mulwanda several times, because that is the place of origin. So yeah, big up very much. Big up to you, Celestine Babayaro. Of course, if you know, Celestine Babayaro was one of the greatest player who ever graced a good game at Stamford Bridge back then. He was a Nigeria born. Yeah, and of course, Coco Leo TV anasema Arsenal mpaka mwisho. Anasema check on your sound. I guess my producer atakuwa anaangalia hiyo sauti inasemaje, but I believe right now unanipata vizuri because it is now clicking well. Thank you very much, Coco Leo TV. Thank you very much, Celestine, and whoever is also watching. Make sure that you're dropping me a comment. The question of the day nakuuliza, like at Arsenal na PSG, who is going to make it happen this evening, because things are going to be very hot. And yesterday we had an opportunity to have a look, or rather to experience a very high intensity game. Tuliona vijana wa Barcelona wakipitia very hard time kwa mikono ya wana Inter Milan. So yeah, without maybe taking a lot of time, without wasting a lot of time, let us jump into our first story this evening. And of course, the under 20 AFCON under 20 has been happening in Egypt, and then we have seen the teams that we are placed with. Of course, Kenya, Harambee Stars under 20 was taking place, of course, and then we were playing in a group that tulikuwa tumewekwa with our friends who are not maybe so Kokolio. I think my director is giving me a good feedback, anasema sauti iko best sana, so maybe you can adjust your settings za simu yako kidogo. Kama ni laptop unatumia, tafadhali adjust so that we can have a good discussion this evening. So weka update kidogo, songeza, and then we can have a good update. So to the first story, of course, we were placed in a group, the AFCON under 20. When it was starting, of course, there were only 3 groups, and then Harambee Stars were placed in a group B, a group that contained, of course, Nigeria, who were several winners of this tournament, and then tulikuwa na Tunisia, tukakuwa na Morocco. That is the group that under 20 AFCON yenye tulikuwa tumewekwa. So in that group, of course, and we had also group C and group A. Group A contained Egypt, Zambia, Sierra Leone, South Africa, and of course our counterpart who are Tanzania. And then of course group C ilikuwa na Senegal, ikakuwa na Central African Republic vile unaona, and then ikakuwa pia na DRC Congo, and then Ghana. So that is how the groups were looking at kwa AFCON under 20. And then the tournament has been played, imekuwa ikiran. Of course, we played our first game on 1st of this month, kama sijakosea. Yeah, we played the first game, and then we happened to lose. Of course, the first game tulicheza against Morocco, who were a very good opponent. We tried, and then we were the first one to score, but we didn't manage to win the game because Morocco brought a remontada, and then they managed to give us a thorough beating of 3-1. To the second game, we happened to play against Tunisia. Of course, again and again, we took the lead, but we were not able to sustain our lead. And the game ended up by Kenya losing again against Tunisia. And the last game yenye imechezwa leo, I think my director anaweza kupatia the preview, anaweza kupatia the full result, atakuwa anakupatia hapa hivi, but the last game yenye imechezwa leo against Nigeria, we happened to lose it. Tumepoteza hii game, tumetoka draw, samahani, we happened to get a draw. So in all 3 games tumecheza pale in group B, tumetoka draw moja, and then we happened to lose 2 games against Tunisia and against our maybe our noisy neighbors who are Nigeria. We happen to get a draw. So that is it for the under 20 AFCON ambayo ilikuwa ikiendelea pale. Of course, in that group B, Morocco na Nigeria watakuwa na proceed because Morocco are going forward with 7 points, of course, and then so that is it. So Harambee Stars, it has been good, boys. I believe like wamepata exposure yenye inahitajika. They have been well supported by the government and the Ministry of the Sports in this republic, and I believe like we are in the right shape now, boys. working towards making it to the Sekafa yenye itakuwa inafanyika later on this year. So congratulations for under 20 because they have made the country so proud. Only qualifying and being among the selected 13 teams, it is not just a walk in the park. To the question nakuuliza, like, who's winning between PSG and Arsenal this evening? In the comment section, tell me what do you think and what are the correct score. For the correct scores zenye zitatokezea this evening in the next show, of course I'll be giving you a gift hamper. Itakuwa kama ni jezi either ya Arsenali, tutakuwa kama labda ni something small just for the good analysis understanding of the game. So tell me in the comment section who is winning between PSG and Arsenal. Of course, this is the second semi-final. So the first story, that is it with under 20. Of course, it has been good. Boys have gotten experience and good exposure, good encounter, of course, worthy opponents. Tunashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu, and then we welcome our boys back to this great nation. To those who are participating in outside, watakuwa wanaendelea on the post. Of course, he's been the man of the match. Amekuwa man of the match, and of course he scored the first goal during our game against Nigeria. So we wish the winner mwenye atafika huko mbele ashinde all the best, but I believe the boys have learned because their age is still allowing them to watch and learn from different opponents. To our next story, of course, nimekwambia like we are targeting time and we are chasing time. Isifike saa 4 kama bado tuko hapa because the big game is just coming. The Kip Keino Classic itakuwa inaendelea, itakuwa the fourth or fifth edition. Of course itakuwa inaendelea 35th of this month, and sijui kama director atapata zile picha za Nyayo zikiwa zinakarabatiwa, lakini najua kwamba atakuwa anazipata. Uwanja ambao utakuwa unatumika, the field, the all time yenye imekuwa ikitumika imekuwa Nyayo Stadium, Nyayo National Stadium. And for the good side or for the good report this evening, for the previous 2 or 3 weeks, tumeona like the government through the ministry and the respective authority and the boss Barnaba Korir have been trying to make sure that wanatoa ile the running track yenye ilikuwa imetumika mzee. I think it was worn up, and they are replacing it to make sure that the boys and the girls who will be participating in this tournament watakuwa wanapitia a good time and enjoying their run pale Nyayo. So Nyayo Stadium will it's of course it's under some upgrade and renovation, and zile running tracks zitakuwa zinafanya nini, zitakuwa zinakuwa upgraded because you understand like the Kip Keino Classic has been growing from year to year. These are tournament that brought us Omanyala. These are tournament that brought us the likes of Wanyonyi. These are tournament that has brought us to the good limelight, the likes of kina Mary Morasa ile pia bado walikuwa wanaendelea. So it has acted as a platform, of course, that has been enabling these young athletes to rise up and show the world whatever they have. So as much as pia bado wanafikiria kuiweka kwa Diamond League, but Kip Keino Classic is doing good, and I believe like our boys and girls are really teaming up and preparing themselves to make sure that they are going to give their best during the 4th or 5th edition that itakuwa inafanyika day 31st of this month, the last day of this month. So Kip Keino Classic will be underway as of that 31st this month. So the preparation are there to make sure that those running tracks zinafanyika vizuri, they are well upgraded and they're well to the standard, to make sure that even if you fall down, you are not bruising your knees as maybe the old one could have facilitated or give you a hard time. This also is in preparation because because the last in the last tournaments we have seen international athletes, of course, coming through, and they have been making sure that wanakuja participate because I've told you these are series, of course, and itakuwa maybe it is highly considered either to join the Diamond League, because I think sijui kama African kuna Diamond League, but kama with its high reservation and its high status yenye itakuwa inakuwa maintained, I believe like it is in the prime position ya kujoin the Diamond League. So that is it on your screen. As you can see, the preparations are underway. Ile running tracks za kitambo zimetolewa. There is a quick preparation to make sure that the new ones are installed. so that this tournament or this competition are not postponed anytime further beyond the stipulated date that will be 31st of this month. So yeah, that is it, because this year there are some news, of course, like international athletes watakuwa come through. There have been some underway news, rumors ama habari za ndani kwa ndani zinasema kwamba labda yule Akani Simbine, the second fastest man in Africa, will also be coming to Kenya to participate in this tournament. So we are yet to see those one who will announce them that they are coming. And of course, Kenyans, as they love Tebogo from Botswana, they will also be waiting to see if this 200 meters champion will be coming through to save his, or rather maybe to have a participation in this tournament. So that is it from Anyayo upgrade. And then to the next story, or before nisonge to the next story, let me see your comments. I've asked you the question of the day: who is winning this evening between Arsenal and the Paris Saint-Germain? These are two teams that they have never won a Champions League, so we are waiting to see watakuwa wanapatana leo John, and it's a must. We must find the winner. Tell me, what do you think? And as I've already told you, welcome your friends, tell them that we are here, and let them give us whatever they think like it is the prediction of this evening. So yeah, I think without wasting a lot of time, let us move to the next topic of discussion, to the next headliner, of course, because we don't have a lot of time. To the next headliner, the Kasarani Stadium has been chosen to give us a good show during this weekend's Mashemeji Derby. The Kasarani Stadium was under construction under different governments, of course. It has been under construction under different regimes, samahani. And we have seen maybe the regime ya Uhuru Kenyatta, to be specific, ilikuwa inaipeleka under renovation, but it wasn't giving it maybe the newest look. Maybe we can see it of late. It wasn't giving it. Like hatukuwa tunaona maybe the full to, yani tukisema like a standard field in this republic, hatukuwa tunaona zile canopies za kuju zimefunikwa, hatukuwa tunaona a good maybe playing turf, of course. But to this upgrade of the latest version we have, maybe not maybe, but the director will be showing you in a minute, we are seeing a very good looking stadium, a very admirable, and Gor Mahia, who are the host of the second leg between in a Mashemeji Derby, sorry, inquired of the premises, and the government gave them a go ahead so that they can prepare and host their second game, or the 97th Mashemeji Derby. Do we say like Gor Mahia are lucky because they might not be lucky because culture places like Gor Mahia, their home turf inakwanga, home stadium inakwanga Ani, and then FC Leopard, of course, it is taken like culture-wise, like their home stadium is Nyayo Stadium. So Gor Mahia inquired of the same, and then they were given a go ahead to make sure that wana participate kwa hii tournament. Na wasikose like maybe wasikose points 3 kwa sababu labda ya kukosa venue. So Kasarani Stadium has been confirmed as the stadium that will be giving us a good show this weekend on 11th. That will be on Sunday, of course, as for from 3 p.m. Good show yenye itakuwa ina consist in between the two rivalry yenye tumekuwa nao for the longest time in East Africa and of course in Kenya. So Kasarani Stadium itakuwa inaendelea mbele na itakuwa inapigwa hii weekend, itakuwa inaingia katikati iweze kupigwa, iweze kuhakikisha kwamba labda we are seeing a 60-seater Kasarani Stadium yenye itakuwa inatuletea show bab kubwa. So that is it, we are waiting to see kile kitu ambacho kitakuwa kinatokezea pale siku ya weekendi, ambapo timu ya Gor Mahia watakuwa wanawakilisha kwa uoni wenye mchezo, watakuwa wanawakilisha ili kufanya nini, ili kuwa wenyeji wa Mashemeji Derby. As we talking right now, of course, the canopies are full, like canopies zimemalizika, and mind you, don't forget, like this is under preparation of the AFCON the whole AFCON yenye itakuwa inafanyika 2027, and of course ile CHAN tournament that was postponed 2 times before yenye itakuwa inaendelea as of maybe August. We're not sure, that's why I'm saying maybe as of August later on this year. So as I told, kama the stadium will be accepted in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, then I think the opportunity will not maybe be taken away from us, because I believe the 3 countries are investing very much to make sure that we are winning this opportunity, because it is not only just hosting these tournaments, but we look at what good comes with, because unapata biashara zina move, players get a good limelight, international limelight of course, and then we get to shine, and that is it. We are waiting to see as of early preparation. So on Sunday, maze, as I told you yesterday in a quick flash, that Kasarani is the place to be. Of course, baada ya kanisa tuingie pale Kasarani. Let us have a good game, of course. Let us enjoy. Let us be peaceful, of course. And I told you tickets are on tiketi.com, of course. Pale online unaingia, unalipa mapema, unapata tiketi yako VIP 300 shillings, and of course they announced VIP is 5,000 shillings, sorry. And then of course the normal ticketing, kama wale wase wa Russia kama mimi na wewe tunaingia pale pande ya Russia ni shilingi 300 peke yake. So that is it from Kasarani. I believe the field is in a good shape, and that the fans will maintain a high kind of respect to make sure that we are not maybe bringing our country back in matters, maybe infrastructure, because the government has really invested in this to make sure that we are getting the best. To the next topic of discussion, of course, is all about Omanyala, the fastest man not in East Africa, but the fastest man in Africa, of course, because he has the fastest record, the record that Africa has never seen before him. He brought us the record, of course. The fastest man before him was Akani Simbine, of course, from South Africa. But Omanyala, of course, he got a good limelight through the Cape Keno Classic, and then from there he picked up well, akaendelea until maybe the world got to know him. But he has been doing a good, a bit hot and cold, but to the latest episode, Omanyala hajakuwa to the best, because this year amekimbia 3 major runs, of course. Shanghai in China, it is a Diamond League, and then amekimbia pia kule China tu bado, and then akakimbia pia kule South Africa. In the 3 races, he has not managed to have a good run, because Akani Simbine has been showing him dust, and making sure that he's not clinching any best position yenye anaweza akapata. In the 3 races amekimbia against Akani Simbine, who is 32 years old, Ferdinand Omanyala this year has not won any race. It is a stress, because ukipata like the whole of East Africa look up to him, of course, like to carry our race when it comes to carry the flag of East Africa when it comes to this race. So this one was in Shanghai in China. It was a Diamond League, of course. Omanyala didn't make it. It was in China, of course. He finished behind Akani Simbine. Yeah, he finished second. But now to the Shanghai, hiyo picha uko hapo kwa screen, hii alimaliza namba 2. But now to the Shanghai Diamond League, alimaliza wa mwisho number 9. Very maybe devastating results as delayed vizuri, and I believe like Akani Simbine has been working perfectly, training perfectly to make sure that he is beating Omanyala, because Omanyala came and took over from him when it mattered most. So we believe like before other leagues, like maybe other races and competitions in Endelea, Omanyala will manage to have a good race, and will wake up to bring back the best, because we are looking up to him, and he's inspiring a lot of maybe young athletes, including his own brother, and amongst those one who has a dream to participate in this short race. So yeah, that is it for Omanyala, and we believe kama Akani Simbine atakuja Cape Keno Classic, then it calls for Omanyala to do extra hard, because kama Akani atakuja and then maybe he's running on his homeland, he must give Kenyans happiness. He has been always giving us happiness when it comes maybe to that 100 meters, the last race that is always held during the Cape Keno Classic. So he must give us a good race to make sure that even if ameshindwa na Akani Simbine to other sides and to other maybe races and competition, when it comes to Kenya homeland, he's giving the Kenyans the joy, the happiness that they do deserve. So yeah, that is it from Ferdinand Omanyala. Of course, we believe and pray for him, of course, like he will emerge the best when it comes to Kipkeino Classic, because I believe he's having a lot of focus to it to make sure that kama tutokeleze like kina Blake wanatoka kule US wakuje, kina Kani Simbine, kina Tebogo wakuje, he's going to stand still and give Kenyans whatever they have always enjoyed when it comes to 100 meters. So to the next story, of course, tukisonga mbio pale chini, we are now going to see a quick flash, of course, to the EPL table. Ligi ya kule Uingereza, it is the most loved league, and people love much about it, because bila hiyo ligi hakuwezi kuwa na gumzo la nani atashinda ama nani hatafanya nini ama nani atakuwa wapi wakati gani na wakati upi. Just maybe to give you as the table, it is of course after 35 games. The league is already gone, of course. Itakuwa napitia mbio tu. The league is already gone. Liverpool have already won it, 82 points after 35 games. And then Arsenal are in second position, 67 points, as you can see on your screen, of course. And then hapo mbele unaona Manchester City with their 64 points. Alafu unaona Newcastle wanafuata number 4, of course, with their 63 points. Alafu Chelsea wanafunga tano bora with their 63 points. And then number 6, that is Nottingham Forest, 61 points. Alafu Aston Villa wanaketi nafasi ya 7, they are having 60 points. Alafu ukiangalia pia vizuri unapata nambari ya 8 ni Bournemouth wakiwa na alama 53. So there is a tight race in between number 2, which is Arsenal, and number 7, who are Aston Villa, because ukiangalia everybody who is in that gap has opportunity to miss or to gain a spot when it comes to Champions League qualification next year. EPL was given 5 positions, and remember this, if Manchester United move forward or Tottenham and win the Europa League, you automatically play Champions League next season. Manchester United or Tottenham will have an opportunity, if at all they win their second leg semi-final that will play tomorrow on Thursday, and then win it, and then go ahead, one of them that will win will play Champions League next season, regardless of who is finishing number 5. So that is why I'm telling you, like, ukiangalia number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they have an equal opportunity to miss or to gain when it comes to that qualification of Champions League next season. And then ukiangalia vizuri tena, Chelsea are also in Conference League. It doesn't guarantee them an opportunity to play in Champions League next season at all. They'll be just winning themselves a spot to play in Europa League. So if at all maybe kama somebody at Alala, the person who will finish position 5, of course, and either Tottenham or Manchester winning the league, one of them will be eliminated to Europa, and either of Manchester or Tottenham will take up the position number 5 to participate in Champions League next season. So it is a tight race, of course. Ukiangalia Arsenal are no longer safe after losing the previous game, the last game they played over the weekend. And then you move forward, unapata Man City pia are also in the race, and Liverpool are already secured. So the race is in between Arsenal, Manchester City, Newcastle, Chelsea, and Nottingham Forest. To number 15, as you can see bigger on your screen, is the great Manchester United, who have been having a very poor season for the first time, because after playing 35 games, they have not even managed to hit 40 points. These are results that maybe in my lifetime I've never seen it. Tell me in the comment section if you have ever seen Manchester United in your lifetime failing to hit 40 points after 35 games. It is one of the poorest seasons Manchester United have been having, but we believe like they'll rectify, do the signing that are required, so that next season they can enjoy their game and be among the competitor. Kule chini, as you can see, Ipswich have already been relegated. Leicester City have also been relegated, and of course, one and only Southampton also were relegated. So that is it, how the table looks. And the Wolves have really surprised me. Wametoka number 18 ambao walikuwa wanapigania na timu ya Ipswich Town. They have moved all along to just jump go ahead Manchester United to the 13th position. So it's a good ending for Wolverhampton, because it is one of the teams that is known for its kind of play. So Ligi na Kaivo this weekend, of course, we'll be giving you the updates tomorrow on Thursday of how maybe different leagues that was inachezwa and the expectations. So kumbuka IPL ishaenda, Bundesliga ilishaenda, Italian Serie A very open, and then French Ligue 1 ilishaenda, Spain La Liga is still very much open, and the chase or the hunt is still very on. So even though venye ligi inakaa ya Uingereza, if I told your team will qualify for Champions League, well and good. If I told your team will not qualify for Champions League, it's also well and good. We wish them best. But for Manchester United, they need a special prayers. So tell me in the comment section, namba yako namba ya timu yako ni gani? Timu yako inakaa namba gani? Kama labda inakaa uko number 15, tell me. Be proud of Manchester because it is a big team. We don't dispute that because sometimes Peter Drury told us like the glory is gone, the good days are gone, and now the glory days do not even exist. So I don't know. In the comment section on Irene Mayoka anasema ako locked ndani sana. I said like if you're watching and you're new here, just subscribe, share to your friends, welcome them, tell them like we are here and the Ongo show is taking over the airwaves. Of course, I'm Vincent Okinda and I love it when you see, because you bet on us, we better ourselves for you. This is Mofo TV, your passport to adventure. To the next story, because pia naona time inakimbia mbio sana. Yesterday we happened to have a good experience or a good show between the two teams that participated in 2010 Champions League final, and for another time they met yesterday in a semi-final. That is Inter Milan who are welcoming Barcelona in San Siro kule Italia, and we happened to see a very interesting game because it was a high intensity game. Hii game sasa ile tulikuwa tuna watch pamoja na our team here at Mofo TV. We were wondering if at all Arsenal or PSG can match that intensity, because the game really turned into something else that we didn't expect. Tuliona like Barcelona walikuwa up on the run, Inter Milan were up to make sure that they're also securing this opportunity. This is the third time they are qualifying to the final, and I believe like they're going to do their best to make sure that they are bringing the trophy to Italy. When najua huko Italy ndo bali penye Pop ametoka. So if at all Pop has blessed the year before Hage, we don't dispute that, because it is the year Inter Milan are really trying to give their best. So yesterday we happened to see a very high intensity game. Tulikuwa tunaona game vile ambao nimekuambia kati ya timu ya Barcelona wakicheza dhidi ya timu ya Inter Milan. Mchezo wa kwanza Barcelona walitoka 3-3 huko Spain against Inter Milan, and now it was the second game that brought all the madness that we have ever seen in a Champions League semi-final. It really took me back then in 2009 while Chelsea, John Terry lost a penalty, and then Chelsea lost it to Manchester United. It also brought me to 2012-2013 where of course Bayern Munich with all their superiority, Ian Robben, talk of Thomas Muller, talk of Sebastian Schweinsteiger, talk of those all prime players were still, Manuel Neuer of course, were still active there, and then Chelsea managed to win against them. So to this game yenye ilikuwa inachezwa jana, we happened to see a good showdown. Of course, Inter Milan walikuwa wamekaribisha now to the second leg. I told you in the first leg walikuwa wametoka 3-3. So yesterday there was some madness because in the 21st minute, of course, Lautaro Martinez, Argentinian international, managed to take Inter Milan to the lead 1-0. Few minutes later on, through a penalty, Kalhanoglu, of course, through a penalty managed to score. It went 2-0 first half, and then of course a remontada happened. A remontada, when I talk about remontada, I literally mean a comeback, of course, happened where we saw a good response from Barcelona through Eric Garcia, who managed to score the first goal Barcelona yesterday in 54th minute, and then of course one and only Daniel Olmo, who managed to bring a remontada in the 60th minute, bringing a game to 2-2. In the few minutes later on, in 87th minute, of course, one and only Rafinha, who managed to bring Barcelona to the lead. In the 87th minute, managed to score the third goal for Barcelona, taking Barcelona 3-2 in the lead. Only 3 minutes before the 90th minute, but now when miracles happen, it was now a game that has lost its weight of its maybe expectation, and Inter Milan really fought back within the few minutes that were added to make sure that they brought the game to 3-3, courtesy of one and only Asabi. one and only Asabi, who brought the game 3-3. And then of course it went to extra time, 15 minutes, and of course Frathi through an assist from Teremi managed to bring an assist, and then Frathi in the 99th minute of the added time ali managed kufunga bao that really helped Inter Milan to make sure that they were taking Barcelona home. It was a game that everybody expected that Barcelona will be winning. Sijui kama director kona hiyo video atakuwa anakuchezea moja kwa moja jinsi ambavyo mchezo ulikuwa jana. But we believe like Inter Milan are going to give a good show yesterday. Sijui kama director atakuwa amepata hiyo video. Hayo ni matokeo kamili jinsi ambavyo yalikuwa. Video itakuwa inakuja, lazima tukupatie, tukuonyeshe kama labda ulikosa huo mchezo, whatever happened, because it was a game that really turned many into tears. Unacheka kidogo unalia, unacheka kidogo unalia, and things were running up that way. So Barcelona are out of Champions League this season. Barcelona are out of Champions League this season, and they will be looking forward now to win the La Liga, because haijakuwa rahisi kwao this season. Imekuwa rahisi because they've been enjoying a good run of event in all competitions, of course. Talking of Copa del Rey, which they just won the other day, and they were making sure that they are going forward to win this Champions League trophy, because imewatoka sana for a longest time, ijakuwa kwa mikono yao. So they were making sure that they are going to bring this game to a standstill. But Inter Milan, who are known for good defending and whatever it takes to be, they fought to make sure that they are winning it. For Inter Milan, they are still fighting for the league, of course. Wameshinda last season, but they are going forward. They won their 20th Serie A trophy last season, and they made sure like wako na 2 stars. If you look at their jersey right now, they have 2 stars, and the league is still open with Napoli, Inter Milan chasing the league, of course, and they're also now into Champions League. The final will be played on 31st this month in Allianz Arena in Germany. So tutakuwa tunangoja tuone kipi kitakuwa kinatokezea pande hiyo. So Barcelona will be giving a lot of focus to the league, because after winning Copa del Rey, the league is now very, very close to their hands. So that is it from yesterday, and now I think we get that video, or maybe those calls the director Mr. Silas Abog will be playing to you. So to the main focus of the day, of course, that is Arsenal against the mighty PSG, or the PSG against the mighty Arsenal. So the game will be played in the next 14 minutes. Game itakuwa inachezwa in the next 14 minutes. So Arsenal are working helter-skelterly into this second leg, health high, expectations high, going to make sure like wanaenda huko kushinda hii timu ya PSG and bring a remontada. So before we dive deep into the squads, the squad yenye imetolewa, maybe the players wenye watakuwa wanacheza, of course nitakuwa nakupatia. Let me see what are your feedbacks on YouTube, and what do you say about them. Anasema like huyu ni GT Man, anasema kitu Arsenal watabeba ni jezi wakirudi home. They'll be working with a jersey, only a jersey, wakitoka home kurudi England after losing, of course, after losing to PSG. That is how GT Man is saying. So we are waiting to see. And then having won the first leg, of course, PSG watakuwa wanapiga upato sana, because they are playing the game in their own homeland after coming to win it away in England, of course. So wachani, of course, the squads are out. Wachani kuambie kwamba ni nani anasimama wapi, ama ni nani atakuwa anacheza wapi this evening, to make sure that who is winning and are fighting to make it to the final that will be played in Allianz Arena on 31st of this month. Tuanze na squad ya timu ya PSG. As of now, Gianluigi Donnarumma will be atakuwa kwa michumo, of course, and then the defense will be led by Akrafi Hakimi, and then Marquinhos, of course, Willian Pacho, and of course Nuno Mendes mwenye amekuwa kisiki sana kwa wachezaji kama Mo Salah and Bukayo Saka of course in the first leg. Katikati we will be seeing Yao Neves, Vitna and Fabian Ruiz will be playing at the midfield, and then of course the attack will be led by none other than Desire Due, Vicha Carvatkelia, and then Bradley Bacola will be leading the strike for the PSG team this evening. And then tukiangalia kwa maybe those who are on bench kwa side ya team ya PSG, of course they're having the second goalkeeper, that is Safno, and then tenors of course we'll see Lucas Hernandez pia ko bench, and then Lucas Hernandez ako bench, Lucas Braido pia atakuwa anacheza, leaking in pia ako ndani, atakuwa atapata nafasi maybe from the bench, yeah, from Warren Zaire Emery pia atakuwa anatokea from bench, and then Axel Tep amongst other of course one and only Ousmane Dembele pia will be starting from the bench this evening. Pande Arsenal of course we are having David Raya, as you can see. Atakuwa another. The defense will be held by Miles Kelly, and then Jakub Kiwor, William Saliba, Urien Timber, Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, Mikel Merino, and of course Gabriel Martinelli will be leading the 11 soldiers that will be fighting against PSG. On the bench we'll be having Neto, Thomas Stifford, and then Kerantini, Ben White, Alexander Zinchenko, Ricardo Calafiori will be starting from the bench, Jorginho, and amongst other including Raheem Sterling, Nathan Leandro Trossard, and Ethan Nwaneri will be starting from the bench. So venye unaweza ona hiyo ni squad ambayo itakuwa inaendelea mbele this evening to make sure that they are going to win or they are going to lose. So the fight is in between the two teams to see who will be qualifying to proceed to the next level. Arsenal have been enjoying a good run against PSG in the previous game. Remember they met in the group stages where Arsenal managed to win 2-1, but that doesn't count PSG off because they are up to the task this evening. So sioni kama labda kutakuwa na lingine ambalo tumeacha, because we had our target as of 9:50. We needed to be out to make sure that you are warming up and you prepare to the next show that we are yet to face it as of 10 p.m. this evening. Tell me in the comment section kama Arsenal wanapita ama wanaanguka, tuone ni nani atakuwa anafanya kweli. So let me see if you having some good some good feedback. Anasema like ni Jitman amrudi akasema ati Arsenal watashinda nini kwa serious. So sijasema kama watashinda Jitman, sijasema kama watashinda, but what I know literally is that they are going to try hard to fight. I don't wish them bad, I don't wish them good. Ni timu iko hapo katikati, so I'm not taking side because Arsenal come from London, and maybe Chelsea is one of my favorite team in London. Not my team definitely, but is one of my team in London. So I'm waiting to see kama kutakuwa na hiyo chance ya kuona kama Arsenal itakuwa ina proceed kusonga mbele to the final. Their last final they ever played, it was in 2006. Yeah, they were winning against Barcelona, but unfortunately a remontada came up where they lost the game 2-1 to Barcelona. Thierry Henry had put Arsenal in front, but then good goals from the Barcelona side. Kina Samuel Eto'o akiwa on in their prime during those days managed to make sure that they are not winning it. So PSG have never won this trophy, and Arsenal have also never won the trophy. So we are waiting to see tuone ni nani atakuwa anashinda this evening. So kati ya PSG na Arsenal sijui ni nani ako na huu uwezo, lakini we are waiting to see. By 12 we'll be here and we'll be giving you all the results that will be officially from Paris in France. So that is it for this evening. Remember, this weekend is carrying a lot, and tomorrow on this show, of course, the On Goal show, we'll be having a guest by the name Alvin, who will be taking us much deeply into the matters, the FKF Premier League, of course, and the matters local football. Atakuwa naongelea mengi sana. That is why I've not dug deep when it comes to Mashemeji Derby. I've not dug deep when it comes to the Kenyan Premier League. I've not even dug deep when it comes to maybe to the suspension yenye Moroni wali receive. So yeah, we'll be having a guest tomorrow by the name Alvin. He's a Manchester City supporter, and then we will be joining us tomorrow to make sure that he is giving us a good flashlight in whose hand are we safe for this Kenyan Premier League, and in whose hands, of course, do we expect the top 5, the top 7 teams in EPL to take up the chances, the best 5 chances to the next Champions League. So we'll be having another episode tomorrow that will be majorly looking at the local football with our guest Alvin. For the very first time, we'll be hosting a new guest at the On Goal show. So imekuwa fahari yangu this evening, of course, to have a good engaging communication with you, and whatever the team you're wishing well, I believe like ni masaa ya kuwatch ball. So tunashuka jumla tunaachia nafasi ili ukapate nafasi ya kuweza kuangalia mchezo kati ya timu ya Barcelona timu ya Paris Saint-Germain wakigaragaza dhidi ya timu ya Arsenal. Yeyote ambaye anamtakia ushindi, basi wacha ikakue jinsi ambavyo itakuwa, lakini sijaona yule ambaye ameweza kunipatia the correct score ama the correct prediction. So I'll be keeping to myself the gift hamper. I'll be keeping to myself the jersey that would have come out courtesy of the On Goal show here at Mofo TV. Hadi tama naomba sasa niondoke ikiwa imebakia takriban dakika 5 kuweza kuingia mida ya saa 4 wakati ambapo mchezo utakuwa unaanza. But I can't finish this without giving a good and a very huge shout out to those people who have been watching this evening, starting with those who have given us their comments. Of course, that is Celestine Baba Yaro. He's always watching us from Luanda, that is in Hisero, Kakamega County. And of course, Coco Leo TV amesema Arsenal mpaka mwisho. We wish Arsenal all the best. And then of course Irene Mayoka was also watching, and GT Man was giving us good comments, maybe saying like he doesn't wish Arsenal good. Alikuwa anasema like Arsenal kitu watabeba this season ni jezi tu peke yake. GT Man pia coming back and giving us a correct score prediction. Anasema like Arsenal will lose 2-0. So we expect, if at all itatoka hivyo, GT Man I think will connect so that you can get your gift hamper, whether you choose a jersey or a voucher courtesy of Mofo TV in the On Goal show. And then anaitwa Alex Anekea anasema already in, na mtu asiongee kuhusu Arsenal. He's very bitter. Those people who are giving different views against his team. I believe he supports Arsenal. So that is it this evening. Naomba sasa tufunge kipindi tuondoke. To those who have been watching, whether you have given us a comment, you have not given us a comment, we are proud because you bet on us, we better ourselves for you. You give us that energy to always be here. Tomorrow we'll be having our different shows, of course, and of course On Goal show will be measuring match at the local football courtesy of our guest that will be Alvin. And of course we'll also be having a flash in the political eye, because the temperatures in this republic keep on boiling each and every time. We are looking forward to have a good analysis and a good maybe of course we chew in and then we give you the final feedback when it comes to those political arenas. So keep it at Mofo TV. Kama hauja subscribe mazee, share with your friends, welcome them, let them know that we are here and we are running each and every day, because Mofo TV is your passport to adventure. Special mention to the one and only the director of Mofo TV, who makes sure that he produces the good graphics, good images, of course, and a good sound, of course, which makes it easy for you and I to connect. He's none other than Dalmas Aboge. Anaitwa Silas Dalmas ama jina la likimatani anaitwa Aboge, who is also doing much behind the scenes to make sure that you are getting me loud and clear. And of course, one and only behind the camera is Collins Ochieng this evening, making sure that when I move to the right, when I move to the left, you are still finding me in my prime position. And of course, one and only pia anakuanga kijana bila mazua, muite Pablito Jesse Julius, always watching. But right now, as I told you yesterday, he's out on official duties courtesy of Mofo TV. He will be joining us this weekend, and then atakuwa anatuletea yale ambayo amezidi kuyaleta kutoka katika nyuga mbali. Kwa wale wote ambao walikuwa wanatizama, tunasema kwamba asante. Tuweze kukutana siku ya kesho mida kama sasa hivi, tutakuwa tunakonnect kwa kipindi hiki cha On Goal show. Lakini kwa wale ambao watafanikisha mchana, tukutane katika kipindi cha siasa humu nchini. I'm Vincent Okinda captain of the On Goal show, and I always tell you, like, keep it at Mofo TV, because Mofo TV is your passport to adventure. Until next time, bless.